Hello? I only do this if I do it spur of the moment, it seems like, so not sure what all else is going on. I know I've been getting a lot of messages. So if you do not want your name to come across my screen, on Facebook or anywhere else, don't message me right now. I got to figure out how to change the settings so that I can silence that when I go to Facebook, which I will be doing here in a little bit. So, how's everybody? Hey, Chris. Hey, Sharon. How are you guys? Hope you're well. I'm going to take a minute and go and share this because I did not give any notice or anything. So I will be back momentarily. Hey, Chaotic. Okay, I think I got it shared. So tonight I want to try. I think I got it shared. So tonight, let me turn myself off because that's annoying. Lord have mercy, I'll tell you what. Tonight I want to try to stay on task. So please all cap yell at me if I go on some wild tangent. Hopefully that's not going to happen. And so basically I wanted to start out by sharing a few. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey, Crime. Hey, Monica. The sound okay? Hopefully. It's such a delay. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out all these new little things. But the banner across the bottom is if you have a case that you would like me to highlight on Cold Truth YouTube, please send it to me. And also, if you would like to tell your personal Greeno account, you can send that to me as well. at the email on the banner. I feel so fancy. I have a banner and my little, whatever that's called, cold truth thing. But hey, Kaleidoscope. Hey, Dee. Hey, Bantry. Carol. Thank you guys for coming. I know it was like super short notice. But again, trying to stay on task. So I'm going to get started right away. And my 4.5 hour live where I just ranted is all fine and well. But if I can't show proof, what good is it? So I'm going to start just taking pieces of it because it's too big. I can't download it. I don't know how. I don't have enough storage on my computer to download it, to break it apart. So I'm basically just going to be pulling information that I talked about in there and some developments that have happened here recently with Anthony Greeno and share those with you first. But if you have a personal story, please feel free to email me and let's get it out there. Let's have somewhere where the truth is being told and his lies are being squashed. So let's get started with that. Dana, hey. She says, well, I'm pissed off. Well, I'm pissed off. The green shit has his girlfriend on asking for donations to be sent to the jail. He's almost got 100 in super chats. From what? From that one little short thing? I just reported it and calling the jail. Well, that's some of my updates too. I have done similar and I'm not sure who it is. So I don't want to say it's definitely his, well, should I say one of his girlfriends, because apparently he has 2. Not shocked, but hey, Kate. Exactly. Which one? One is Crime Geek, and I talked about her before, and apparently there is another one too that I was not fully aware of. So there's that. And then he also has, like, following his pattern, he always has the girlfriend figure or 2. Seems like they might be like one online that he only has to see like a little bit, just like for visits. And then one in real life that he tries to hide from his YouTube world. I need to look more into that particular aspect of his pattern because, like I've said before, it's very clear once you go back and look for it. You can see his pattern. And then he always has a mom figure. It has been many different women in that mom figure. Right now, it appears to be Marvelous Investigates. I'm just kind of baffled by that, considering how I don't know. I'm not sure if he sent her to be some kind of a double agent of sorts. But I do not appreciate her taking advantage of my friends. And so she is, I'm not going to just go away. Just know that as long as you are giving him any airtime or talking about him or giving him money, I am going to be talking about you. And that's just the way it's going to be. I think it's despicable. I was pretty speechless at the nerve of you. The nerve. Can't take it. Hey, Watchdog. Hey, Lake. Hey, I already said hi to Kate. I think I got everybody now. But yeah, so that's upsetting and it has been turned in. I sent an email to Greeno's probation officer sharing the information, because I know that when I've called, just being a regular citizen and all, because that's exactly what she is, I was not allowed to record. The jail records them, and they let you know that, but I was not allowed to record anything when I had talked to someone in the Marion County Jail. I can't it baffles me that, Carroll County has just got all of these different rules. Greeno's told us about a lot of them, but that Carroll County would be okay with him making money. I also sent him all of the links to his GoFundMe, his PayPal, his birthday fund for $603, and his merchandise, and his channel with the new videos since he's been in jail, and her Marvelous Investigates video, and it is being sent to the prosecutor's office. Hello, Michelle. Greeno called Crime Geek from jail as she went live on his channel. Wow. I don't even know. I really don't even know what to. He called from jail with Marvelous Investigates. Hey, Luke. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I literally I don't really have any words for that. I don't understand. I was doing some searching just for any kind of try to make sense of it, because I do believe that most people, not him, but most people are good. And so how do I make sense of these diehard Anthony Greeno supporters? How do you make sense of that? And I was listening to a TED Talk, and the guy had mentioned that some people they just don't want to. They want to believe in the idea of him and the things that he is saying that he's doing and the things that he's saying he's not doing. They want to believe that so bad that even in the face of irrefutable proof, they will deny it. They will compartmentalize it in their brain, and they will just pretend that they didn't know that in order to keep getting what they want and out of him. That's why I'm always big on him saying, help me help you, give you what you want, whether it be attention, whether it be there's not a lot of good things. I mean, Delphi coverage, a lot of people he's tricked into believing that he's giving them Delphi coverage, but it's just lies. So he's actually behind, I would say, a good 70% of the misinformation on the Delphi double homicide of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. Just through systematically going through year by year of what he has done in the last 5 years. It's just sickening to think that people believe them, and to get them to unbelieve something that they truly want to believe is impossible, apparently. That confirmation bias of oh, he said this, and that's what I want and what I think. So there we go. Hey, Angel Bear. Hey, Babs. I personally have empathy for his victims. There are so many victims of Anthony Greeno. Yes, Bantry, you are completely right. There really are. And I do have empathy for victims, especially the girlfriends, because I do know a lot about coercive control, domestic abuse, and manipulative personalities, and what they do, not just Greeno's victims, but across the board. And so Lonesome Lenny, hello. And so that is, he made 75 plus said he's seen and talked to Klein. Yeah. It's laughable. It really is laughable, except for to the people that just die-heartedly want to believe him. But I am gonna go ahead and get started because I promised I wasn't gonna just get on here and gab away. So here we go. Oh, geez. What have I done? I just wanna make sure you guys can hear me before I go off screen. Hello, Lindsay Ann. I put you and Chaotix links in the tab because I'm going to be talking a little bit about, well, for one, Chaotic Beauty. We did a live the other day, but I really want you to go and subscribe to her channel. She is amazing, and she is a information, where'd the word go? Rolodex. And I just really appreciate what she does and that. And I did show some of the proof on her show the other day. And then Lindsay Ann from Can't Stop Won't Stop. I'm super excited. I think we're going to be collaborating a little bit on a couple different things. And the other day, she shared Ray's petition, which is also in the description, along with her podcast and Facebook group. Please go join those and listen. She's very good. And she shared Ray's petition uh, in her Facebook group. They go live. I think it's pretty much every Sunday around 8. So those are super fun. Her and her fiance are adorable. Love them. And it's so cool to see a couple doing true crime together. But anyways, she shared that petition, and literally it was just like it touched my heart to see how many people went and signed that petition for Ray Hanish. And I'm hoping that I can connect Lindsay Ann with Ray's family, and we can do what she's done for so many other Indiana families and help them to know, or basically, like, I have pretty much all the information. They just need to really know how to submit it to ISP, his case to ISP, and just a few little details, and then just spread the word. It's really just horrible what's happened to Ray, and I really truly believe they just want to sweep this under the rug. They want me to go away. They want everybody to go away. Um, and they don't want to prosecute him, like he said, well, just take Nicole's justice for Ray. Well, that's bullshit. That's not okay. And they and albeit outside of, if they charge him for murder, they only have 5 years to bring charges against him before they can. And I get a feeling that they just want that 5 years to go by without anybody realizing it, except I'm not gonna be doing that. And, we can all work together and start making some noise and start getting some things done, get the case into the hands of Indiana State Police or whomever it will take to get some resolution for Ray Hanish, for his name, for his justice. So again, those petitions are, and they're in the description as well. And then there is a petition for Ashley Mullis, Don Morris's daughter. She has been missing since 2013. Lindsay Ann's done some great coverage on her case, and I will be highlighting it here soon. I want to kind of dig a little deeper into that one. So tonight I'm going to highlight one a family member sent me of mine, and I'm going to highlight another one that a good friend from Prattville, Alabama, sent me. of a missing person. And so first I'm going to start with the Greeno stuff. Yeah, not on murder, but on anything. In Indiana, murder is just that. It's murder, intentional killing of another. And then we go into, we don't have like murder 1, murder 2, or any of that. We have manslaughter, all different types of homicides that are, or lesser offenses. They have 5 years. So say they wanted to charge him with, reckless homicide, voluntary, manslaughter, anything like that. Like they really do need some they need to get moving, and they need to make some decisions and not just let the clock roll out. And I believe they had said, well, we're hoping that he's going to get in the jail and like confess. If I were them, I would be suing. If I were the Hanish's family, I would be suing Open Secrets, and I would be suing her because she says that she has a Garrett Kurtz confessing to the murder of Ray Hanish when she recorded her interviews with Garrett Kurtz, and she has never given that to them. And to my knowledge, she's never given it to the prosecutor. She thinks that she's famous enough that they should just be able to find it on her YouTube. Well, she's not, and that's not how that works. And she's chopped it up so much that, it couldn't be used if she has the unedited confession. She's not put it up on her channel either. And so it really needs to, they need to get that from her, and so they can sue her civilly or something, or get the courts to subpoena for the jails. It's recorded on the Newton County jail side too, or yeah. And so that's where he was at that time. And so to get a copy of that before it's gone, if it's true. What are the differences in jail time for murder and lesser? Murder is 45 years and up, with the recommended sentence of 55, depending on the aggravating and mitigating circumstances. And so it just kind of goes down from there. Some of them are literally like, I think the lowest one was 8 years. Yeah. So, I believe that he murdered him, and I believe that it's a hate crime. Targeting someone because they are gay on a dating app for gay men when you are straight makes this a hate crime. If that's the truth. That's what we have been told he said in his confession. So, hey, Carol. And yeah, I've been wanting to for a while, so I'm hoping to connect with Don, and we can talk, and I can get some interview questions prepared, and we can do that. That man is just amazing. So I want to try to do anything I can to help. And yes, Luke, Chris, please send me. I can't do it tonight because I already have my table of contents already set for tonight. But if you want to send me those to the email below there on the screen, please do, and I will totally look into that, and we will highlight it on another episode of this, because there's going to be several that are just like this. And I would also like to do, if you're listening and you are and you live in another country, I would love to do a global unsolved episode with you. If you could email me as well, I found those to be really interesting. And there's so many things that we don't know or that we want to ask, but we're kind of like, we don't want to look too stupid. Well, I don't care to look stupid. So, because I love to ask questions and find out information. So I love doing those because we get to see both sides, like criminal justice system and how things work in other countries. And I think it's super cool to learn about the justice system, culture, geography, just everything about another country. I find that very interesting. And so I would love to do an episode of that with you. So if you hear this, send me an email. Yeah, I have no idea. Either she just doesn't have it and she's made it up, or she truly does think that she's like they should just go and get it themselves. I'm not really sure. But Magdalena Zook. I am not seeing a Magdalena. I don't think anyone can block me on StreamYard, but let me know if there's someone in the chat with that name so that I can figure that out. Well, thank you, Valkyrie. It's very nice of you. All right. Now I'm going to go. I'm going to share my screen again because I unshared. Let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I think this might be it. Nope. I just look at this one. Sure did. Okay. This is the latest update on Greeno. There's been a fourth petition for revocation. I should check back in and make sure you guys can hear me. Can everybody hear me? We can hear you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chaotic. Okay. There is a fourth petition filed for... Phew, I gotta make this a bit bigger, guys. Can't see. Okay. Fourth petition that the above named Anthony Greeno, hereafter referred in this petition as the probationer, was placed on probation by the court in the above cause on June 3rd, 2021. After having been found guilty, he took a plea of non-support of a dependent, a level 6 felony. And number 2, that by the terms of the probation established herein, it was required that the probationer shall not leave the state of Indiana without permission from the court or probation. Within 30 days of sentencing, the probationer shall attend and complete an assessment at a mental health service provider and complete any recommended treatment. The probationer shall pay monthly probation user fees. The probationer shall pay court costs within 90 days. The probationer shall make weekly child support payments. And he signed it. He signed this, okay? That said, probationer has violated the terms of the probation established herein, in that the probationer left the state of Indiana without permission as he was extradited from the state of Georgia on the Carroll County warrant. The probationer has not provided any proof of receiving any assessment for mental health services from a mental health service provider. C. The probationer is currently $470 behind in probation user fees. The probationer has failed to pay $185 in court costs. The probationer has failed to make weekly child support payments. He has failed to make a payment since December 17th, 2021. Wherefore, petitioner requests that the court order a warrant and or summons issued so as to cause a probationer to be brought or to appear before the court for hearing upon this petition to be served upon probationer residing at Carroll County Jail. He's in the Carroll County Jail, okay? Don't let his videos fool you. It's a girlfriend or a mother figure. I affirm under the penalties of perjury that the foregoing representation and state are true. Dated February 14th, 2022. So that was yesterday, okay? And these are and remember, I can't see the chat when I'm reading, so ask your question again, or just ask it again. So I emailed because most of them do not have a email, so I emailed the one person that I could find an email for, and then I plan on calling the rest. Good afternoon. I am wanting to make you aware and inquire if inmates were allowed to watch the latest HLN episodes that aired on Saturday night, February 12th, and if they are allowed to be recorded live and privately from the Carroll County Jail. Below are the links to Renee Anthony Greeno being recorded from the Carroll County Jail. Have a good day, Mel. P.S. I was unable to find email. Okay. Yeah. And so, yes, I have put the links in and I sent that. And then I also sent a follow-up with all of the links for all of his places where he is bringing in funds. So considering what we've just read here, hopefully that money will be garnished and actually given to the people that deserve the money, because he does not deserve the money, period. Oh, I get so upset. And so this was my comment to Marvelous Marvin, who dared to post in the Abby and Libby Today is the Day Facebook group her own personal channel promoting herself. Meanwhile, she's got one of the worst people that's ever landed or ever. He's just like a shit on your shoe you can't get off, like he's done horrible things to and about the Delphi case. It's not even funny. And we need to deconstruct all those is what needs to happen. So this is what I said to her. If you cared about Abby and Libby, you would have given their loved ones a break from Anthony Greeno this year. Nope. Instead, you paid for him to tell more lies from jail. I know you have heard the same audio I have heard, Marvelous Marvin. How could you hear that and continue to support him? Stop disrespecting Abby, Libby, their families, and everyone else. Take your Greeno videos down from your channel and his. Because I kind of think it's her. But I did it this time. Now we have... I mean, good Lord. You'd think Crime Geek finding out he's got another girlfriend that's running other things for him and like up in the groups, like advocate, like you would think that like that, like, if you don't care if he's going to get out and like abuse you one day and threaten your children and threaten your life and like do all kinds of horrible, crazy things. Like if you don't care about that, I mean, like You don't care about him having another girlfriend at the same time as you? Like, come on, like, love yourself more. Love yourself more. You're worth so much more than that. You're worth so much more than that, and I can tell. And, like, just know that and, like, do it. Just love yourself more, because every day that you continue to put any of your love towards him, you are loving yourself less. You cannot love someone like him and love yourself. So that means you have to give a part of yourself away. You give a part of your self-worth away to him. And you deserve so much better than him. You really do. I'm not just saying that. And here is just a little tidbit from 2017. He had just gotten out of jail. And these were more people that had paid for, him to be in jail. And here's what he had to say. Yeah, they have a hashtag free Greeno. They still use it. Embarrassingly. My lips are super dry. So, jail is a breeze. No bother to me. Consider it a vacation. And great for YouTube videos. Thanks to those who sent me money. I will send you an autographed mugshot if you tell me who you all were. LOL, LOL. OL. Whatever. I'll be with family for Christmas holidays. Then Mr. Stroop and I will be back at the video making. I've been in touch with Daniel Nations through letters in the mail still, and also Mark Redwine. We reached out to Ron Logan, but it seems as though Ron is reluctant to write back. Videos coming soon, I promise. Got a lot of new stuff for updates to my channel. Thanks for being true friends and supporters. YouTube. Keep it Southern style, y'all. A Merry Christmas, Greeno. This was December 20th of 2017, okay? Like, he did this again in 2018. Jails, like, he went to jail again, and people paid for him to be in jail again from this one. And then he went to jail again in 2019. People paid for him. The Cougars. I don't think he had a girlfriend during those, because Jess finally did break up with him and that was over, and she came out and told the truth about him, and people ripped her up inside down the other for telling the truth, because they don't understand coercive control and what it means to be a victim of domestic violence and the things that she's a victim. And so, yeah. So then again, and now he's doing it again, It's just, do you not see the pattern here of, like, he's never had to fall down. So you're just really hurting him. Which just shows how selfish you are, really, to be honest. Okay. So now we're going into, on the last episode of, The Unpleasant Truth. I talked about that he continuously says that he's running for sheriff, and that he's told other people, oh yeah, I'm a felon, I can't carry a gun, but I can run for sheriff because look here, I'm running for sheriff. So these are just some of the proofs of that. And note that he's running for sheriff in 2 different states for the same campaign year. All right, just take a note of that as we look here. Well, seeing how I'm the sheriff, can't even spell candidate, so that's a real bummer for him. I think I've done more than most. Police here are liars. Really? Well, a judge is my advisor, so ha 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 ha. Now that one I do believe. I believe that might just be a truth because Curtis Fouts, the former judge, is his attorney as of now. So someone actually asked him like some real questions here, and he like it's another. So he's asking another question here, and then he just says yes, and he was like, "Oh, okay, thought you were joking or just threatening to run. Didn't know you were actually telling the truth." Like, because he's not, like, come on, he can't run. So here's one of his bumper stickers available. So you can buy one of these. Wow. Where do you think that money's going? It's not going to a campaign. A Greeno sheriff, Carroll County, a sheriff with a better understanding has a better community. This is in March of 2017. Here is his campaign. Anthony Greeno is running. He's third person again because he's the one writing this. Is running for public office in 2019. Help support the campaign by purchasing this t-shirt. Share with friends and family, and real change will come next local election. Greeno vows to strengthen the criminal justice system by using his knowledge as a fugitive recovery agent. He's not that. He's just a fugitive. Drop the recovery, drop the agent, just a fugitive. And time spent inside jail. True. On a wrongful arrest. Absolutely false. He has never once been wrongfully arrested. Never once has he been wrongfully arrested. Hear that. To better the way the sheriff's office does business. He knows both sides of the criminal justice system, and he guarantees change because a sheriff with a better understanding has a better community. So some t-shirts you could buy, another fraudulent fundraiser. Here's one of his campaign intro videos, I suppose. I haven't looked for it on YouTube, but this one's from, December of 2016, before the murders. Greeno for sheriff in 2019. Again, this is December of 2016. His Crayola thing there. Okay, here we go. Good Lord, they shouldn't even be in a side-by-side next to each other. Like, that makes me sick. Anthony Greeno. So I've put a lot of thought into this. Probably the next local election, I will be running for a county office in Carroll County, Indiana. Please register to vote by then and watch for my name on the ballot. ... If you are interested in donating to my campaign fund or become a supporting member of my party, please contact me. As sheriff of Carroll County, I vow to use my training tactics, keyword, and experience as a fugitive recovery agent. It's even hard for me to say. He's just a fugitive. He is not a recovery agent, to help clear the outstanding warrants. I will work closely with our schools. That's terrifying. To ensure the safety and education of our future generations. Terrifying. He doesn't even take care of his own. Carroll County Sheriff's Office seat has been held by the same group of friends, co-workers, in quotes, for the past 30 years. It's time to get out with the old and in with the new. I am the only candidate, at least he spelled it right, who knows all aspects of the judicial system, and therefore a sheriff with a better understanding, has a better community. Please feel free to share the images in the post. Sincerely, Anthony Greeno, September 10th of 2017. It's embarrassing that I even have to refute any of this with the truth. Like, Of course he's not a fugitive recovery agent. Of course he cannot run for sheriff. Like, oh my gosh, I can't. Greeno for sheriff. Little homemade sign there he's made. Just being a complete dick per usual. Because again, this is all fake. Like, he knows it. He knows it's fake. He can't even carry a gun, but if he can get you to believe it, which so many people did, you know. So here's some more. And this is him running for Charleston County Sheriff in a costume that he's bought, which is one of the signs that I posted it on Facebook and on YouTube, and it talks about I think that might be the one. I've watched quite a few lately, but it might have been on the TED Talk one. He's clearly wearing a costume here, and the badge there is the one that I made, so I'll be showing that here as well in a minute. Just more proven change. Vote proven change. A sheriff, he doesn't even come up with a different campaign like slogan. Here we go. Yeah. Never, this is not a thing either. He did not meet the president. He did not speak with the president. Therefore, he did not advise the president. None of the such. All lies. Here's the t-shirt you can buy. Scam. And the proof. Indiana Code 3-8-1-5, disqualification of candidates, Section 5A. This section does not apply to a candidate for federal office. Section 5B, as used in this section, felonies means a conviction for which the convicted person might have been in prison for more than a year. Check. A person is not qualified under this section for a felony conviction for which the person has been pardoned. So these are disqualifying felony convictions, okay, to which he has none that disqualify him. A felony conviction that has been reversed, vacated, and set aside, he has none of those. Not entered because the trial court did not accept the person's guilty plea. None of those, or expunged. None of those. He's tried to get some expunged, and the court said no. The judge said, nope, not today. Nope, not happening. He was able to get his DNA taken out of the destroyed in another state. So that's an interesting thing, that he went to the trouble of getting his DNA out of the for fear it might be put into a system somewhere. Crazy. 3, a person's plea of guilty or not nolo contendo at a guilty plea hearing that is not accepted or entered by a trial court. A person is disqualified from assuming and being a candidate for an election office if the person gave or offered a bribe. So that's not really, well, it probably does apply, but that's not what we're talking about here. The person I already read that. The person does not comply because of a conviction for a violation of a federal laws listed in the statute in jury trial, bench trial, guilty plea hearing. The person pleads guilty or nolo contender to a felony. So you are disqualified from assuming or being a candidate for elected office in the state of Indiana in all counties, including Carroll County. I called them personally. I'm just not a dickhead, and I didn't record it to put it on here. You can call them yourself if you want to confirm the Carroll County thing, but it's really just nonsensical. Like, he has zero training. He can't even carry a gun because he is a convicted felon. And he cannot run for sheriff because he is a convicted felon. He has zero training and he can't carry a gun. Yeah. So there is the proof, the truth of the matter for the state of Indiana. And I actually called because I know how these people are that believe him, and you got to cross all your T's and dot all your I's. But just wanted to for sure make sure. So I did call the Carroll County Commissioner's office, and they gave me the phone number for the Indiana election division, and I called them to verify. And so yeah, that's squashed. He cannot run for sheriff. Just a real quick truth here for his lies. So even if he gets a reduction of a felony to a class A misdemeanor, he still can't run. Jury, like he cannot run for sheriff. Court has announced its verdict against the person for a felony, or the person has pleaded guilty to a felony, does not affect the operation of subsection, and that doesn't apply. So this right here, this is your proof, okay? I'm going to check back in for a minute, see how everybody's doing. How is everyone? Hopefully you were able to view all of those okay and see the truth and what's going on. I'm assuming that he will. I did get an email from, I had asked some questions of the clerk, and basically there will be, he doesn't have bond. He's not out on bond. And the other case things that you can see on my case are not entered into, they're not in the PDF form because they haven't been entered in, and there's something that basically they will be entered in as far as just basically what the judge is going to do. So, and like I said earlier, at least the prosecutor has been sent the information, and I'm very hopeful that they will relinquish those funds and they will be given to pay his child support, the court fines and costs, and apparently the probation fees that he owes. He's in errors of a lot of money, and he does not deserve it. He made his choices, and he should have to live with them. Yeah. Any thoughts on Fouts being his counsel? Yeah, I have some thoughts about that. I think it's I know that he has been paid with a very low amount of bond, so that's not really going to cut it as far as what a defense attorney that is not a public defender, he's not his public defender, would you couldn't even retain a lawyer for that amount. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And yeah, shady business. I do have to agree. So there's something to that. And his own counsel is the corruption. He likes to displace that blame onto Prosecutor McLeland, Prosecutor Shane Evans, the Carroll County judge as of now, not Fouts. resigned. One paper told the truth. One paper made it sound like he retired after a long, successful career. And mind you, this judge was or is a professor at Purdue University, which is just terrifying. I don't know about you guys, but I believe her. And so, but I'd rather not talk about him anymore because we're starting to get into a whole nother bag of burritos. And yeah, we could do some things to join this with us tonight. I'm sure the petition will make him, oh, I lost it. Will make him threaten. Oh, you felt laughed out? Yeah, he's threatened to sue me. I don't even know how many times. And this is the thing is like he doesn't even know how to write it. Like he doesn't even know what he's talking about. So it's like, whatever, dude. My wall's still blank for whenever he gets that to me. I'd love to see it. Oh, wait, sorry. You mean AG was going to run for sheriff in another state other than Indiana and Georgia? Well, this was in South Carolina or Charleston. What did it say? South Charleston or something like that? So, yeah, if there's one in Georgia, send that to me. I mean, I know there's more, but yeah, so yeah, for the same election 2019, he was going to run on the same campaign too. So that just goes to show you how fraudulent it was, and any funds raised was raised fraudulently. I'm just kind of looking through to see if see what I've got to see here before I go back to reading. Aran, can't read that. Probably a troll. And if you have my phone number, if there was some horrendous troll in Chaotix, but I'm not even going to mention what they were saying. But if that happens here and I am off the screen and I can't see it, like, please, because I don't believe I have, unless Bantry's still here, I don't have any moderators. So I will need to be made aware of that as soon as possible. So if you have my number, please send me a message. Good night, Angel Bear. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing if she does our little felon comment in this corner of YouTube and Facebook. Exactly, Shanda. Yeah. Yes. Wake up before he hurts you and your kids. Yes. Please wake up. Every day that you are away from him is in that day you can rebuild yourself, your self-worth, and learn to love yourself so that you can get prepared for the right man to come along and to be content in who you are, to even for that right before or if you even want that right man. But like every day that you waste with this joker is just another day of your life. Like, and we're only getting older, where our lifetime is only getting shorter. So it's just like, think of it that way and don't accept the next phone call. The worst thing you can do to these types of people, though, is to tell them no. I mean, mine was a small scale, and he could not accept that I wanted him to leave me alone. So he'll probably call you repeatedly, but just don't answer and see how that makes you feel. Like, I think you will start to, the more you pull away from him and don't answer the phone calls, all he's doing is just feeding you lies to get you to do what he wants, because he's the one cornered. He's the rat in a cage right now, so to say. And he's the one that is needing you. He's needing to keep you and his mother figure and anyone that's going to send him money, because can you even imagine the poor little weasel being in jail and not having it be a vacation? And so just know that, like he's just using you for that. And like every day that you tell him no, you're going to gain confidence and self-worth and like self-love to love yourself enough to like get away from him, so that one day, like the right man, not the lying one, because I'm sure he's fed you a dream, but that's all it is. It's just that it's a dream that will turn into a nightmare, I promise you. And I am not a fortune teller. He has a pattern. Look at the evidence. It's all right there. Okay. So now we're going to jail isn't the only thing he likes to go. Love that guy. Yeah. Yeah, imagine too. Yeah. Just, I think maybe as see it more in women, like, yeah, um, of like you, the next one always thinks that he's different with them, that he is going to change for them, that he loves them more than he loves anyone else, and that they are special. And he feeds that because that's what gets these women to stay. But you're not. You're not different. And it's narcissistic of you to think that you're going to change him, for one, that he's going to change for you, and that you are that special that this man with a very strong pattern is all of a sudden just going to break pattern. Like, he's in jail. Like, he ain't breaking no pattern. Yes, Kate, he absolutely does have patterns. He absolutely does. It really does take years to recover from. I know this. Trust me, I know this. I'm not coming from a place of like up here. Like, I'm coming from a place of an even, like, I know this. I had to do the work. I had to spend the time to love myself and find my self-worth again. I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I'm not coming from a place of I think I'm above you. I'm not at all. I have lived with a lot of these behaviors my whole life. And that's why I'm passionate about it, and you deserve better. Everyone deserves better. You just got to know that you deserve better and make choices to help you get there. Um, yeah, see? Yeah, seems to be the case. The more I'm uncovering, it's crazy. So, all right. We're going to move on. and I'm going to cover briefly a couple missing persons cases. This one was sent to me by a family member of mine, and we're going to be learning about it together. This is Paris Williamson. Missing date 2/4, so February 4th, 2022. She's 33 years old. She is from Indianapolis, Indiana. Gender female, race black, complexion medium, height 5'11", weight 175 pounds, hair color black, hair length long, eye color brown. She's absolutely gorgeous. Location last seen. Paris was seen in her silver Chevy Impala car on County Line Road in Emerson on Monday, January 31st. Paris's family believes that she visited the Horseshoe Indianapolis Casino in Shelbyville, Indiana. Sure wish this case had stayed in Shelbyville. They just get lost in Marion County. So that's why we're going to try to bring some attention to these. Circumstances of disappearance unknown. Paris's Chevy Impala license plate number 394 NFV is also missing. So you need to be on the lookout for, if you are in the area or just anywhere, for, because we don't know where she is. You know, she's a missing person. A Chevy Impala, a silver Chevy Impala. Anyone with information, please contact IMPD at 317-327-6293. Again, that's 317-327-6293 or at 877-97-BAMFL or maybe I. Thank you. Oh, how do I find it? So there we go. Thank you. Okay. So now you guys can see all of that. So sad. She's so beautiful. And wait till you see the other pictures of her. Oh my goodness. Absolutely gorgeous. Paris Williams was last seen by her family on January 30th. She was reported missing last Friday after her employer told her family that she hadn't shown up to work. Police are asking for the public's help finding a missing 33-year-old woman from Indianapolis. Paris Williamson was last seen by her family on Sunday, January 30th. IMPD missing persons detective said a missing persons report was filed on Friday, February 4th, after her employer contacted her family to tell them Paris had not been coming into work. Man. IMPD said investigators believe Paris is driving a 2008 Chevrolet Impala with an Indiana license plate number 394 NFB. The vehicle was seen on Monday, January 31st, driving southbound on Emerson Avenue and County Line Road. Police described Paris as 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighing 170 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. I mean, good God, she's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at her. Wow. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is being asked to call 911 or contact the IMPD Missing Persons Unit at 317-327-6160 or missingpersonstips.nd.gov. Missing persons tips at indy.gov. To remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers of Central Indiana at 317-262-8477 or TIPS. 317-262-TIPS.
A missing woman. Paris Williamson's family last saw her on January 30th. WRTV's Amber Grigley met with her family as they looked to the community to help bring Williamson home.
She really cares.
Oh, gosh.
A missing woman. Paris Williamson's family last saw her on January 30th.
Can you guys hear the video? Can you guys hear it?
A missing person report.
My goodness.
According to
Now
IMPD,
can you hear it?
Williamson is believed to be driving a 2008 Chevrolet Impala with the license plate number 394NFV.
My mother, as she was listed as the emergency contact, and said that she hadn't been to work in over a week.
Paris, an insurance agent, very passionate about her work. So the call got her family's attention.
And then we went on to call the apartment complex to check to see if she was there.
I need to go back, don't
Spirit
I?
to loving heart. Seymour says Paris brought their family so much joy. But for the past few weeks, that radiant smile has been missing.
It was February 4th. It was around 4 p.m. And her place of work actually called my mother, as she was listed as the emergency contact, and said that she hadn't been to work in over a week.
Paris, an insurance agent, very passionate about her work. So the call got her family's attention.
And then we went on to call the apartment complex to check to see if she was there. And they went to check to see if she was there in her apartment. She was not.
Paris's family reached out to the police to file a missing person report. According to IMPD, Williamson is believed to be driving a 2008 Chevrolet Impala with the license plate number 394NFV. The car was last seen on January 31st, traveling south at Emerson Avenue and County Line Road in Greenwood. Through social media, her family has received overwhelming support from the community, and they believe with your help, she will return safely.
Faith has held us together. Faith is going to carry us through. Faith is going to carry us home. And I know that's what she will stand on as well.
Working for you, I'm Amber Grigley, WRTV. Anyone with information on Williamson's whereabouts is urged to call the IMPD Missing Persons Unit or Crime Stoppers. You can find that contact information in this story on the WRTV app, along with the description of Williamson and her car.
Don't send me any emails. Don't send me any messages.
Save lasagna. A missing woman. Paris Williamson's family last saw her on January 30th. WRTV's Amber Brigley met with her family as they looked to the community to help bring Williamson home.
She really
So these are some of her family members' posts on Facebook. If you know anything about Paris Williamson's disappearance, please contact the 1-800 hotline. Keep the family in your prayers. Lord, bring her home safely. So sad. Here is a picture of the Impala. Okay, so with the license plate there. Last seen wearing red Nike coat, January 31st. Car last seen on County Line Road in Emerson. Silver Chevy Impala license plate. And there's the license plate number again. And please contact Lauren's sister at 317-869-2229. And I honestly, you definitely do want to call the tip lines that are given by IMBD and other sources. And I just have to say from experience, if you do not hear back from them, contact this sister. Okay? Just always go to the IMP, go to the tip line of the place where the missing person is. But Marion County is understaffed and overwhelmed. And if you do not hear back, please do contact her sister. 317-869-2229. I have good friends who are very worried about Paris Williamson. She was last seen at the Indiana Grand Casino, Indianapolis, on February 1st at 11. That is the belief. If you have any information, please call the police. Right now, they do not suspect foul play, but family is worried. I believe that status has changed. So here we have a timeline. Last seen by her family on January 30th. Her car was last seen traveling southbound on Emerson Avenue and County Line Road on January 31st. Vehicle, silver Chevy Impala. Tip. Someone may have seen her at the Horseshoe Casino in Shelbyville on January 31st. Reported missing on February 4th. And there are the numbers again. Yeah, just tons and tons of people wanting to know where Paris is. And I hope that if she's out there, I hope she hears these people and possibly this, and she lets them know she's okay. I really hope. So yeah, well, a good rule of thumb is What can you lay your head down with at night? What can you, is that something that you think about? What can you sleep with for yourself at night? Can you be okay with not saying anything, with not doing anything, with doing less than is the right thing to do? Um, just something to think about in so many cases. I think about that for the Shannon Paul case. I think about that for Ray Hanish and, um, all of there's just so many Delphi, I could just go on and list of like what Ginger's saying right here. At what cost is your silence affecting you, affecting your life, sometimes subconsciously, because you know the right thing and you don't do it? Just something to think about. And I do understand fear. I do understand that there are situations where it is not safe for you and yours to speak out. But in these situations, there's always a anonymous tip line, to get this information to the proper people that can do something with it. Yeah. Well, street code. I think a better code is a code of families first. And this family is worried sick about their daughter, their sister, their friend. And, that's the ultimate code right there. And what if she was your sister? What if she was your daughter? What if she was your granddaughter? What if she was your friend? What if she was your niece? Would you care about street code then? Think about it. And now we are going to move on to our second missing person. This is Jolie. I love that name so much. Elizabeth Kent, missing. Jolie Elizabeth Kent. Absolutely such a doll. So cute. She must be 15 because she's got her permit picture there. Last seen February 5th, 2022. Age 16, height 5'3", weight 103, hair blonde, wearing pajama pants with a multicolored t-shirt. Deatsville, Alabama. If you have any information, contact Millbrook Police at 334-285-6832 or Crime Stoppers at 205-215-7867. Make sure I'm still sharing. Still sharing? Everything's still good? Cool. Well, let me unhide that comment. Hopefully it was probably blocking it again. We'll let you look at her again. Absolutely adorable. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine if my child, her age, ran away. My child, her age, was missing and I didn't know where she was. I literally don't, I can't, it makes me just like lose my breath. Like, I can't even imagine it. I can't even imagine it for my older daughter. Like, literally, when she went to her first semester, like the first few weeks, she was at IU, um, where there is some unsolved, missing, presumed murdered cases, Lauren Spears being one of them. I literally was just, I didn't put it on her because that's not right to do to your children, to make them fear living their life. Like, that's never a good thing to do. But man, I'll tell you what, I was like, just the thought of not knowing where she is. And I know, like, I've talked to Shannon Polk's mother and father and family, and that's one thing they've constantly said is, we're grateful that we know, you know, and there's so many families out there that don't know what happened to their child, their loved one, their niece, their nephew, you know, like, they don't know and they can't imagine being in their shoes. And none of us can imagine being in any of their shoes. Um, so that's why it's so important to share these flyers. I know it gets monotonous because there's so many, but each one deserves to be shared and for people to see them and hopefully help. And every time there's good news, celebrate it as good news instead of, oh, wasting time, you know, they just ran away, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, don't do that because you don't know which one of those kids, and they should all be taken so seriously until that child, person, or person is found. Because minutes matter. Minutes matter. And I tend to ignore presumed runaway. I just ignore it completely because it doesn't matter. As soon as you run away, your chances of being a victim of a crime go up exponentially, especially at a young age. Sex trafficking is real. It really is real. And it's not just some far off place that we think, you know, like, oh, it's never going to happen here. No, it's happening in your backyard. I guarantee it. It's, just get on NamUs, get on murder data, get on websites where they are linking. I mean, on NamUs, I did it myself. With NamUs, you can take missing persons, you can put in a victimology, and you can basically, you can do your own pinning. So you can put in the victimology of like what type of a victim you're wanting to find. You can even put in geographical locators. You can put in time frames. I mean, you can put in a lot of information on NamUs. That's why I love it. And then you can pin those straight from NamUs onto a map to see if there's patterns. I like patterns. My brain likes patterns. I can see patterns. And so that is something that I did. And one time I did it, and I was looking to see if there are any active serial killers out there targeting a certain victimology. And what I ended up finding was these clusters of missing kids in the same age range between 12 and 18, all in these very tight clusters in different cities all along I-20. And it got to be so many that it was like, this can't be a serial killer. So what am I looking at here? And then I started looking at the area and what's here? You know, what is here that so many kids are missing, or, you know, whether they're presumed runaways or what, like, what is here? And what I found was there were state run, some private run institutions for children, detention centers or foster care type rehabilitative centers. I'm struggling to find names of them in my head right now. But that was the common denominator in all of these clusters. And yeah, kids run away from those places. Understand that. But you also have to think about, you have to put yourself in the mind of, like, it's really hard to disappear. Even if you don't have anyone looking for you, it's really hard to disappear. And if you put yourself in the criminal mind, if you put yourself in a person that is going to sex traffic children, you have to think about they're going to do what's easiest. And so what is easier than collecting up these runaways from these facilities? And they are easy target. The victimology is very strong. They are good candidates to be victims of violent crimes because they are in the system, because they will be assumed that they just ran away, because they are in foster care. They don't have a mom and dad and a tight family unit that is out looking for them and trying to find them daily, like with Paris or with Jolie. They don't have that. And so these are the perfect target areas. And a lot of these along I-20 are not big towns. They're not places that you would think that this would be occurring, but yet it is. Yes, Ginger is Nicole Bowen's aunt. And this is in Deatsville, which is where Shannon Polk's body was found. She went missing from Prattville and her body was found in Deatsville. That was her. Shannon Polk went missing in 2001 and her body was found almost 6 weeks later. Don't send me any messages right now. I don't know how to not have them pop up on the screen. I'm so sorry. But I don't know how to get messages, like private messages, not to show up on my messenger. So I'm really sorry if your name ends up being showed. Just don't send me any messages right now, okay? Okay, so this is something that I'd shared yesterday. A friend had sent me this. C, where are you at, girl? Missing Persons Advocacy Network. Missing teen. Reward of $5,000 for information that leads to the whereabouts of Jolie Kent. Jolie Elizabeth Kent, 16, last seen February 5th, 2022, Deatsville, Alabama. The Millbrook Police Department Central Crime Stalkers and the family of Jolie Elizabeth Kent, 16, is asking for the public's help to find her. Jolie Elizabeth Kent, 16, was last seen on Saturday, February 5th at approximately 10 p.m. at her home in Deatsville, Alabama. Description: height 5'3", weight 103 pounds, hair dirty blonde. She was last seen wearing pajama pants and a multicolored t-shirt. It has now been 4 days since last contact was made with Jolie. Her family and friends say they have not been in contact with her since Saturday. My officers are actively working this case, and we would like to speak with anyone that may have information about the case and her whereabouts. Millbrook Police Chief P.K. Johnson said. Please put this post on public when you share so it can be seen by more people. Please do not copy and paste this post or alter our flyer. Okay. Oh. Search. Oh my goodness. Lord, can't read. Search stretches into day 6 for missing Alabama teen Jolie Kent. Oh, she's so cute. On Sunday, February 6, 2022, the parents of Jolie and Elizabeth Kent reported their daughter missing. Kenton's parents stated that they had last seen her on Saturday, February 5th at approximately 10 p.m. at her residence in Deedsville. They probably went to bed thinking she's in her pajamas, think about that. Like, oh. Kent was last seen wearing pajama pants with multicolored t-shirt. However, her current attire is unknown. Kent is homeschooled and is known to frequent the Deedsville and Millbrook areas. If you have any information regarding the location of missing person Jolie Elizabeth Kent, please immediately call the police or Crime Stoppers at our 24-hour tip line at 215-STOP or 1-833-AL1-STOP or download stuff. Millbrook, what in the world? Why is that such a hard word? Millbrook Police Department, 334-285-6832. So cute. Oh, wait. February 10th. Okay. Update. She has been found safe. Thank you to everyone who shared and prayed. God is so good. So, are we going to believe that? We don't know who that lady is, right? So, we're not just going to believe that. We're going to try to go and find the proof that she has been found. Because we just read this one and it does not say that anywhere. And it was updated February 11th. I'm not seeing a single update that on the link that she provided that it had been so February 10th does not say update found safe at the top. I'll look for Millbrook. Oh, good Lord. It's not even been on here, so. Elmore Otaga News. Okay, I know who they are. For the past 9 days, worried family, friends, and police officers have searched for Jolie Kent. Today, she was located in a residence not far from her home and is safe. Click the link for more information. Still remains under investigation. Okay. Deesville resident was reported missing by her parents. Parents advised Millbrook that she was last seen February 5th prior to going to bed. On Tuesday, February 15th, which is today, detectives from the Millbrook Police Department Criminal Investigations Unit were able to locate Jolie Kent at a residence in the Deetsville area. She was in good health when officers located her. The juvenile was transported to the Millbrook Police Department, and her parents were notified that she had been located and was in good health. At this time, it appears that the juvenile left her residence of her own volition. The circumstances of this case remain under investigation. We are extremely pleased to announce that this young lady has been located in good health and that she'll be reunited with her family. I'm sure they are relieved to know that she's safe, especially after not knowing her whereabouts, if she was safe, or who she may have been with. As both parents and a grandparent, I understand that our biggest concern is the safety and security of your family and especially your children. Unfortunately, we live in a world where there are people that take advantage of our children. All too often, we see where teenagers go missing and are never found, or when they are, something terrible has happened to them. Thankfully, that's not the outcome in this case. While I am limited in what I can comment on due to this case involving a juvenile, I will say this. While social media can be a useful tool for law enforcement, the media and people desiring to communicate situations such as this situation, it also allows for people to communicate rumors, negative comments, and spread false information. Hallelujah. Yes, it does. And it causes parents unnecessary anxiety and stress, as well as waste precious time and resources from law enforcement agencies attempting to investigate and locate missing persons in cases like this. I want to commend our detectives and officers that have diligently worked countless man hours over the course of the last 9 days since this young lady was reported as missing. They've knocked on doors, spoken to family members, friends, acquaintances, and chased down countless leads, which finally led to her location. I don't think any of our detectives ate supper with their family or got home at a decent hour since this case was assigned to them. I want to thank ALEA for their assistance in this case. The partnership we have with our law enforcement partners, Crime Stoppers, and news media are extremely valuable, with much appreciated in a case like this. Everyone involved did a great job. So, already a positive outcome. All right. That's good. And there's some really good advice in there too. Really good advice. So, yeah. Yay. Have I not been sharing my screen this whole time? I haven't, have I? Or have I? I haven't. Somebody let me know. Nope, I sure wasn't. Oh well, she's been found, so that's good. we don't need to share her picture anyway, so probably worked out for the best. Nope. All right, well, sorry about that. And now I just have a couple more things, but I have to pee. So I'm going to take a break, and you don't have to listen to any crappy elevator music because I don't know how to do that. So you can just talk amongst yourselves, and I will be right back. To the person that sent me an email, if you could please email me again and let me know if you want that information publicly shared, or if you had any questions. I do not recognize the name. Hopefully it's a fake name. And the online girlfriend that I'm talking about goes by the YouTube handle of Crime Geek. And I believe they started talking in November of 2021. He had another girlfriend or dating someone else that is the one that shared the GoFundMe. And Then there was another one as well, and another one. So we are getting up there. What a womanizer. So hopefully you heard that, Crime Geek. There's another girlfriend, another online. He was talking to someone else online as well, the same time as you. So there's that. Yes, she's. I don't like to name them. I'm sure you can privately find that information out. I mean, he got down on one knee and proposed to her. And it wasn't a fake online girlfriend. She was not fake. She was real. And she publicly would post about him, and she was in his chats. I'm not going to say her name, but it is not Crime Geek. So the mom's in custody. What does that mean? Yeah, some of the headline articles made it seem like she lived under the stairs. What? What have we been talking about? They were hiding from the police there. Oh. Oh. Did you guys hear about the little girl who was thought to have been missing for several years and was found living with her bio parents? Her sister was her guardian, I think, under the stairs. Oh, geez. Yeah. Me too, Monica. I ask myself that all the time. And you have to have a balance. You can't helicopter your parents. I don't believe in that type of parenting. I think it only debilitates your children when they're grown. And so, but then again, you have to let them go, and you have to let them go and grow. But at the same time, they have to know their surrounding. I mean, you can warn your kids upside down the wall and back down again online, and when they are out in public. And I know we have, and we talk about preparedness all the time for, like, what if you were kidnapped? What if it was, like, what if the situation? What if you were held at, like, someone puts a gun to your head and they say, get in the trunk? What do you do? What are your options? How do you stay alive? And we go through all different kinds. We just did it last night with my youngest daughter, because she and her friends were driving down a very populated road, plenty of cars, but a person in a black truck, an older man, pulled up beside them and was making lewd gestures and wanting them to pull over. Thank goodness they did not. They drove to a well-lit parking lot with lots of people pulled into the front because they needed to be safe. My daughter knows that you do not ever let someone follow you to your home. You do not ever stop for anybody. And her and her friends did the right thing, and they got to somewhere safe. And because you just literally never know. You never know what people are capable of, and you cannot assume that people have good intentions. Unfortunately, we don't live in the world where we have that luxury. So yeah, that's definitely something that okay, so for my last updates, they are about the Nicole Bowen sentencings and the appeal and everything. And I'm just gonna I'm going to pull it up first and then I'm going to share my screen. Okay, sharing screen. Wish I could get it to be different than that. Like, I don't, it's so weird. Like, it's, ugh, freaks me out. All right. So, these are some updates on Talitha Beckley. She has been sentenced. Her hearing concluded, during which time the defendant submits to the court a sentencing recommendation. The court considers the testimony arguments of counsel and the defendant's criminal history and its imposition of sentence. The court finds that the defendant has demonstrated a disdain for the order of law and that the defendant has chronically failed to honor conditions of supervised and suspended sentences, thus rendering the defendant an inappropriate candidate for community corrections or probation. The court considers the totality of the circumstances and sentences the defendant to a 4-year term of incarcerations in a penal facility of the Department of Corrections. The court having entered a finding that the defendant is a habitual offender, the court enhances the sentence by a 4-year term of incarceration for a total of 8 years term of incarceration in a penal facility of the state or of the Department of Corrections to be served consecutive to the sentence imposed in 66C01-1810-felony 4-13. The defendant having accrued 697 days of incarceration while awaiting disposition of this cause, the court grants the defendant credit for 929 days towards her sentence. The court having imposed sentence, the court advises the defendant of her right to an appeal her sentence of the court, and in the event the defendant desires to exercise her right to appeal, the defendant must file her notice of appeal within 30 days of the court's order. The court fines the defendant $1 together with costs of this action in the sum of $185 and a $100 public defender fee payable to the Newton County Clerk. So, that's awesome. This is, hold on. This is for, I believe this is for Mathis. Yes, this is for Christopher Mathis. He was sentenced to, I think I have it down here, because this one's a real treat, but he has been, let's see, that's October, so yeah, so he was sentenced for his role in the murder of Nicole Bowen on or around July 27th of 2021. He received 8 years, 929 days credit, 4 years enhanced. And then he also, because he literally turned right around and reoffended within like I think it was only 5 days from his sentencing, and he was okay. So here it goes. On September 18th of 2021, he was 2020. He was sentenced, and basically it was time served. Like he got out the day or the day after he was sentenced for his role in Nicole Bowen. Then he turns around and reoffends with this guy. Felony 6, dealing in a substance represented to be a controlled substance, trafficking with an inmate, but the article trafficked is a controlled substance. 9/25/2020. So he literally just turned right on around, and 18 to 20, from the 18th to the 25th, he did go on the run, and apparently he has been caught because his new comes now statement by Deputy Prosecutor and Attorney Patrick Ryan, and comes also the defendant in person with counsel and appear for a dispositional hearing. The defendant files the negotiated plea agreement and recites the terms contained therein to the court. The court advises the defendant of his constitutional rights, and it enters a plea of guilty. The court advises the defendant of the natural offense to which he is found guilty, and it waives the reading and applicable Indiana statutes. The court finds the defendant understands his constitutional rights, and the court accepts defendant's admission and finds the defendant is a habitual offender, and that the defendant has accumulated 3 prior unrelated felony convictions. So yeah, he's in prison, and he will be there for a bit. So that's good news. And we'll see if this pulls it up. Yeah. State of Indiana versus Ashley Garth. Justia is so fun. Just in case you like looking at court documents or appeals. I'm not going to read all of it because it's 23 pages long. I will go ahead and read the case summary. Ashley and Garth appeals her convictions for murder and conspiracy to commit murder. She asserts that the trial court committed reversible error by making certain evidentiary rulings and by denying her motion for mistrial. I was there. There's no. She also asserts that her convictions are unsupported by sufficient evidence and violated Indiana's prohibition against double jeopardy. It's like, I don't even know where they've pulled this out. I mean, I attended most. You can ask Ginger, like, this was the most it was just a well-oiled machine up in the Newton County courts with this conviction. Everything was above reproach. There was no double jeopardy violated. There was no nothing. There were some interesting things as far as what now the public can know. In March 2019, Garth was in an intimate relationship with Garrett Kurtz. Kurtz had also been in an intimate relationship with Nicole Bowen for a few months. Over the course of 2 months, Garrett Kurtz and Kurt's friend Jason Palladino had a couple of conversations about getting rid of Bowen. Kurtz, Bowen, and Talitha Beckley were at Palladino's house. Palladino told Kurtz that they had to make a decision that Bowen has to go and that it has got to be done. At that point, Kurtz drove Bowen and Beckley in Bowen's car to a trailer in Kentland where Garth was. Once at the trailer, Bowen and Kurtz sat on the couch and used methamphetamine. Garth came out of the bedroom and exchanged words with Bowen, which escalated into a fistfight. Kurtz stood up and wrapped Bowen in a chokehold from behind until she collapsed. Kurtz yelled at Garth to hand him an extension cord, which she did. Kurtz tied the cord around Bowen's neck and handed it to Garth. Garth pulled on it so tight that the extension cord broke. Garth helped Kurtz lift up the couch, and Kurtz tied the extension cord under it. Kurtz also then tied a scarf around Bowen's neck. Kurtz got a roll of tape and trash bags and taped Bowen up in a trash bag. Kurtz took the body to Bowen's car, drove the car to pick up a friend, Christopher Mathis, and continued to drive around with his friend looking for a spot to dispose of Bowen's body. They saw an empty semi-trailer, not a shack, and placed the body inside. They then returned to the trailer and got high with Garth. On March 30th, 2019, the owner of the property on which the semi-trailer was located visited his property. He saw a body inside the semi-trailer and called 911. Police discovered Bowen's body wrapped in a blanket and secured with different types of tape. When the police removed the blanket the following day, they found a plastic bag over Bowen's head, her wrists taped together behind her back, a scarf tied around her neck. Under the scarf, an electrical cord was tied around her neck. After the electrical cord was removed, ligature marks on Bowen's neck were visible. An autopsy indicated that the cause of death was neck compression and ligature strangulation. DNA testing indicated strong support for the proposition that Garth was a contributor to the DNA profile found on a cardboard tube discovered with Bowen's body. Very strong support for the proposition that Garth was a contributor to the DNA on Bowen's fingernail scrapings, and limited support for the proposition that Garth was a contributor to the DNA profile found in the scarf tied around Bowen's neck. DNA testing was also performed on the electrical cord, but was inconclusive. And they went into detail about this in the courtroom as far as what an electrical cord is made out of. And there were, like if you've got a porous, non-porous type surfaces there, and DNA found on a cord does come back inconclusive, and it doesn't mean that, it's just not provable, if I'm remembering what they said right. But it did not diminish the fact that this is exactly what she did, because it was not only backed up by Kurtz, but it was also backed up by Talitha Beckley. In December 2019, the state charged Garth with murder, felony 1, conspiracy to commit murder, felony, and felony 5, assisting a criminal. The state amended the charging information and added level 5 felony involuntary manslaughter. A jury trial was held from May 17th to the 21st in 2021. Kurtz testified for the state during cross-examination. Garth sought to admit a letter Kurtz wrote to her which the trial court denied. As part of the state's case in chief, the state office offered State's Exhibit 44 a videotape police interview with Garth. The trial court admitted the exhibit over Garth's objection. After publication of Exhibit 44, the jury informed the trial court that they had difficulty hearing it. The trial court replayed Exhibit 44 over Garth's objection. During Garth's case in chief, she sought to call Beckley as a witness. Beckley had been subpoenaed, but she was not present. Garth read Beckley's deposition into the record. In rebuttal, the state sought to admit the state's Exhibit 56, a videotaped police interview with Beckley. The trial court admitted Exhibit 56 over Garth's objection. After the exhibit was played for the jury, the prosecutor informed the trial court that Beckley had arrived while Exhibit 56 was being played. Garth moved to strike Beckley's deposition and Exhibit 56. So she's wanting to strike her own. Yeah, like weird. The trial court denied the motion to strike, but permitted Garth to call Beckley as a live witness. After Beckley testified, Garth moved for a mistrial, which the trial court denied because there was no grounds for a mistrial whatsoever. The jury found Garth guilty of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and assisting a criminal, and not guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The trial court sentenced Garth to a concurrent term of 48 years for her murder conviction, 35 years for her conspiracy conviction, and 3 years for her assisting a criminal. This appeal ensued. Additional facts will be provided below. Yeah, you see why I'm not going to read this? Okay. Yeah, you're right, Shanda. Pure evil. Still cool with each other. I don't know. I doubt it. Yeah, right, Ginger. It was so gross. She was so gross. Yeah, there's no double jeopardy. Like, I don't, like, what do you do when you have a defendant that's like clearly guilty, and not just by the forensic evidence, physical evidence, eyewitness testimony. I mean, she did herself zero favors as far as her speaking with the detectives in her interrogations. Either one of them, I mean, they were absolutely disgusting. And she literally acted like she owned the place because she was free while her murder trial was going on. And she just walked around like she had no scruples going and standing right near the families, being a complete bitch. Like, I can't even describe, like, I'd rather see her get more time than Garrett, to be honest, because I think she's that the devil you don't, I mean, now we know, but like that, the devil that you don't like. Kurtz is just like, bam, in your face, hot tempered. You see him coming. Ashley Garth, she is a manipulative, like, premeditated, pre-thought out, just evil. Like, oh my gosh, I can't, words don't even do it justice what it was like to be around her. Just her energy, just everything about her was so, like, she was so entitled to be found not guilty, and that was just going to be what happened. Like, she knows she's guilty. Like, she knows that. But how dare they? Kind of a Greeno type of personality, to be honest. Like, now that I think about it. Oh, yuck. Affirmed. See that right there on the bottom? Affirmed. So now she can appeal to a higher court. But I honestly, like, if you read this, unless there is some new evidence, which there's not, she will serve her. It's not 48 years, unfortunately, and it's consecutive. So that means that when she was sentenced to murder, conspiracy to commit, and the assisting a criminal, she will serve that time inside of the largest offense. So the 48, like it'll be 48 years total. And she will also get, it's not 1-to-1 like we see in lower court charges, but it is like, I think they just upped it. It was like 70% of your sentence, 70 to 80% of her sentence, she will serve. Oh, yeah. Before the sentence, she was cutting up and laughing. Yeah. Well, that day was the best day ever. Yeah. Because, I was so upset. I got to see all of it. And then the court recessed and the jurors were deliberating, and it was literally just like a half an hour. I had to go. I had to get my daughter from school. And it just didn't seem like it was they were going to get it done. And so I'm like, well, I might as well go. And, I could have found someone, but it just didn't look like it was going to get done. So I went ahead and was heading back home. And then literally a half an hour later, they called. And, yeah, it was, I didn't even need to see it to know how ridiculous she probably was, but the poetic justice of her strutting her stuff for 5 days straight and then getting convicted, and then I can see her now, like, being aghast, like, how dare they? And she's just, I'm sure the same thing has happened to her here. Like, she thinks that she's entitled to do heinous things and not have to pay the consequences for. You can see it. It's her pattern, and it has been for years. And so it's no surprise that an entitled personality that feels they are owed something, and a highly manipulative personality to boot, who tries to control others by throwing little temper tantrums like she's 2. Her family just seems so embarrassed of her actions, but like they're scared. You could tell that they're like, they didn't want to ruffle her feathers. They didn't want her. It's like they just want to go around and like make her happy, like that type, just that. Ugh, ugh. But yeah, affirmed. So bye-bye. Bye-bye, Ashley Garth. You have fun in prison. Actually, I hope every day is miserable. It's exactly what you deserve. I closed it. Hey, K-Rocks, how are ya? So, that's all I got for tonight. Anybody have any questions? Something brief before we wrap up? Yeah. And consecutive is when you have to serve, like what Talitha got was consecutive. Like, so she serves her time, her 8 years, and then she also has another case open that she will serve. Then they will go like one right after another. They're not allowed to serve them like how concurrent means you can serve them all at the same time, which I just find that to be absolute bull. Like, what's the point? I don't get it. If they're going to do that, then why not save some money by just not even bothering? I just doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. Yeah, I kicked myself out. Garth, let's see, she was 26 when they murdered Nicole. So that was in 2019. I'm terrible with math, so you tell me how old she is now. No, she did not get consecutive. She got concurrent. So yeah, they're served. I might have said consecutive, but no, they're concurrent, like they're served inside of each other. So 48 years is her sentence. I won't invite Carol. I will not be inviting open secrets to anything that I do ever again. With what she pulled with Ray Hanish. I have sent her multiple messages, emails, and tried to get her to do the right thing. And she just kept blowing me off, saying that, if the courts, the prosecutor could just go to her YouTube and surely they've seen it, which is just laughable that, like, she literally thought, like, that they just, watch her tiny little YouTube channel. But it was pretty clear to me pretty early on. I tried to be diplomatic with her, but it was pretty clear what her intentions were, and I don't share them. I don't care about how many subs I have. I don't care about clout. Like, what the hell is that? Like, not in this world. Like, not in this world. You don't care about clout. You don't care about subs. You don't care about, having someone on your channel so that they can, like, help you get big because she thinks she's like a big deal. It's like, I don't care about you. I don't care about any of the things that you care about. And you clearly do not have the right intentions, or everything that she did would have been done differently, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And I think that, if she ever does tell her whole truth, it will definitely shed a lot of light on her personality and her personal truths. Isn't OS in jail? Yeah, that's her personal truth. So to share. Man, something drained my battery. Dang. Plugging her in. But yeah, it would have been really nice if she had had the best, like, what's best for Ray Hanish, what's best for Nicole Bowen, what's best for Abby and Libby in the forefront of her mind, instead of things like clout and subs and self-promotion and things like that. And so I just really want no part in any of that. Embarrass her into it for Ray, not for you to get subs. Yeah, I don't care about subs. At this point, the authorities know. They have been, we're dealing with White County here, and I really, like I said, they want this to go away, but they know that the not by her that I know of, but I definitely, and others have let them know that, like, this, there is because those are recorded on the jail side. So Newton County Jail has those recorded, and that there is a recording supposedly of Garrett Kurtz making a full confession of what he did to Ray. But yeah, if I were the family, I don't have any, I don't have anything. This isn't my fight. I'm just trying to help fight. I'm trying to help them fight. So if I were them, I would be seeing if there is any kind of civil charges that I could bring against her, or criminal as far as impeding an investigation down that road, that avenue. I would be fighting for that to happen. But she had many months to do the right thing and never did. And you can't make someone give you. I even had her on my channel to do exactly what Carol was saying. And yeah, I didn't want to do that. Yeah. If she is, it's not doable anyways, but I won't ever. I had her on my channel once in an attempt to try to get her to, to do what you're talking about, and I sent her, requested the information for them without me, like, I don't need it, just send it to Cher, send it to Miss Dottie. Yeah, she never did. I just think that's sad. I feel like this is a big responsibility, covering true crime. And you should see it as that and be mindful of what your intentions are and being clear about your intentions. If they are not about like truly helping and you're just wanting to get clout or, tell a story or, just make money or like whatever your intention is, you need to be very clear about it and not be a snake in the grass and trying to manipulate these families into trusting you to tell their child's story and trusting you to host events and trusting you to advocate on their behalf for their loved one. It's just kind of disgusting. Any other questions? Yeah, that's Monica brings up a good. Can they not get her for withholding evidence in a crime? Yeah, impeding an investigation. There's definitely criminal charges that could be made. I just, like that's not for me to. It's not something that I can do, unfortunately. Part of the problem is the prosecutor in that county. 100%. Prosecutor Robert Guy. And I think also the initial investigation. I think that's a part of the problem, and they know it. Yeah, Monica. Nothing. I don't know. It doesn't appear that they have taken Gray Hughes and Colleen Fitzpatrick up and identifiers up on their offer. Just because I watch Gray Hughes a lot, and I know the cases that they are going to be doing for the genetic forensic genealogy, and it doesn't seem to be for Shannon, which is unfortunate. Ginger, love you too. And you have a good night too. I hope you're healing up good. Stay off that knee. Don't be a dick guy. Yeah, he is. I don't like him at all. Well, good night, Cece. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it is their job, but you know. They don't. Yeah, you're right, Ivy Rose. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Yeah. Yeah. So true. You know, we just cannot control what other people do as much as we may want to. We cannot control that. And so it kind of sucks sometimes. And then just we can't let it get to us when other people don't do the right thing. We can't let it get to us to where it is upsetting our every day-to-day life that's not on here. You know, when it starts to interfere with your life, like how the reason I had to take a step back from taking on, because when I do take one on, it's going to be a whole series. It's their podcast. You know, if you listen to my podcasts, not YouTube, it's mostly all interviews. And the families are telling the stories, and I get very involved, and I don't know how to. It was getting to be mentally unsafe for me. So I had to kind of take a step back and reevaluate how I'm going to move forward with the podcast and learn how to set boundaries for myself and realize that I'm only one person. Like I can't do all of it. I can't do the research, writing the scripts, doing the interviews, writing the questions for the interviews, editing the interviews, editing the podcast episode, adding in the music. Like it's so much, so many hours. And then putting all the references, writing the descriptions, uploading it, and doing all of that, and being available to talk on the phone and to answer questions and run pages and do all of those things and still like somehow think that I'm going to be mentally stable, like when I'm pulled 25 different ways, plus just the guilt. I just couldn't do it anymore. And that last one was just, man, it was a rough time. It was a really rough time. I'm in a much better place now. And everybody's all like worried about me because they're like, we're just really worried about you. And like, maybe you should take a break from Greeno, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, like, I'm good. Like, this is the way I can help with like still staying, like helping, but not getting directly involved with victims' family members until like I can, like Shannon's case is unsolved. So that's not going away. Nicole Bowen's case, we're at a point where like I don't do a lot. There isn't anything to do on that. Ray Hanish still there's uncharged. Dakota Kelly, he just keeps getting delay. His body is still missing. So that's the toughest one. And good night, Chris. Thank you for coming. We're about to wrap up too because my daughter just got home. So, but yeah, just with what I'm doing for Greeno is a way that I can still be involved in this community and not just gone for good. And do something good by telling the truth about him and hopefully save some other people from being hurt by him. And that's what I could do. So that's what I'm doing. You don't like it? That's your problem. It's really your problem, not mine. I'm going to bed, everyone. Okay. Good night. Why was Nicole tortured? Sick sadists. I mean, how can a sane, like, normal, emotional person, well, sort of, answer that question? Like, there's no answer. But I am going to sign off here, and thank you guys all so much for sticking with me, even if I'm talking about something that, like, it's pretty obvious when, you have your most listeners when you're talking about the drama, the soap opera that is Anthony Greeno. And then when it comes to like actual true crime stuff, the viewership goes down. Not that I have a lot anyways. Whatever. But yeah. I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. And I do want to get out the proof on my 4.5 hour long Greeno rant because it's important to show proof, and everybody should. And you shouldn't just believe anyone ever. Hi, David. Thanks for coming by. But yeah, just keep that in mind, check and recheck and references are so important. But so I'll keep doing that, and then I'll just keep doing what I want to do, and that's to cover whatever I want to cover and highlight. I'm going to be highlighting some of the things that I saw on cold cases. Chris G, he just went to bed, and here I am going to give him a shout out, but join his group because I've seen some things in there that I do want to kind of look into more and talk to. His name was in the chat earlier. A case, and then Don Morris is his daughter, Ashley. I want to do that one. Love to do something for Amaya someday, and Jamie Tate, and Karina McClurkin. There's just so many. There's so many, and that's why it's just disheartening when you hear the same high-profile cases night after night after night. Because there's so many that you're just like, how is this one not high profile? Like, how is this one not getting everybody's attention? I don't get it, because it's just so full of like, wow, All right, guys, thank you for joining me, and I will try to come on, probably going to be, I don't know, maybe this weekend, but not sure. We'll see. Have a good night.